Four Prime Archetypes, Why We Do What We Do, written by Aaron Huey and Martina Kodrin. Now available on Amazon and Kindle and coming soon to audiobook.
So, as promised, I'm going to be the journalist on this one. Martina, you have recently been delving into the creative, the bard and the wizard creative side, both of which have just phenomenal astronomical creativity powers. You've been painting and they're gorgeous. Your paintings are beautiful. They're amazing. And it's something that you've been practicing very consciously. So first off, why? Why did you even start? Why you're such a wizard? Why all of a sudden you're painting? What's going on for you?
Well, I remember thinking during the earlier stages of the creation of the book, the Four Prime Archetypes, I remember thinking, what if I'm not really naturally a wizard? What if I was just brought up as a wizard by a wizard/warrior mom, and that's just who I had to be in order to survive, right? To overthink everything, to not act rashly. What if I, in fact, am more of a bard? What if I like creating and expressing more, but I wasn't able to create and express and emote more because of the situation at home? So that was the first seed of the bard, or whatever you want to call it,
Right.
in my subconscious, right? And then you talked to me. I got into the bard like a true wizard with a book. Of course, I had to read all about it. The Artist's Way, by the way. So I got that book. You recommended it to me. I got that book. And then, I don't know, a couple of months ago, I started, by chance, if you believe it, I started noticing videos about, art, the creation of art, acrylic painting, stuff like that, epoxy resin, and I was really drawn to it. So I just decided to gift myself acrylic paints for Christmas and for my birthday. Of course, my family also helped. So yeah, I was really, really just drawn to it. There's no other way to explain it. For once, my wizard is shutting up.
Okay. So then in bard mode, what were the feelings that came with deciding to look at it, deciding to wizard your way into it? Why? What were you feeling? I get what you were thinking about it because very analytical. Well, I read
Yeah.
a book and researched it, and then I analyzed my family history and my social construct of growing up, and determined through method. What were you feeling? Were you missing something? Did you want more?
You know what I was gonna say right now? I think I was. Can you guess what my main archetype is? Um, yeah, probably I'm not gonna say consciously I felt like something was missing, but I did feel like I wanted to express more. I wanted more art, more beauty, more color in my life. And it actually, now that I think about it, it actually stems, yeah, I know, don't laugh. Now that I think about it a bit more, it actually goes back several more years because one side of my family likes to sing a lot. So my aunt, my grandma, all of their side of the family like to sing a lot. But I never used to sing. I was just convinced that I don't know how to sing. But then several years ago, I realized that I really like singing by myself in my car, but still, it still doesn't sound good, but I enjoy it, So yeah, it's kind of an extension of that. So to just keep bringing more creativity, I consciously wanted to bring more creativity into my life. because I felt like I didn't want to overthink everything any longer. I know that's not a feeling, but
Well,
I'm working on
that's
the
the
feeling.
that's the interesting point that I want to bring up is that what a wizard answered to a very barred question, because I asked,
Hmm.
what were you feeling? And the closest you got to a feeling statement was, I feel like I wanted to express more. So
Yeah.
to continue to support bringing out your bard, and let's just explain, folks, this is how you coach in the archetypal manner. So you said I felt like expressing more. You said I felt like there wasn't enough expression. So what does that feel like when there's not enough expression? And what does expressing more feel like?
I know is feeling lack a feeling?
Is it?
Feeling like something's missing, that like some part of me isn't getting expressed?
Where in your body do you feel lack?
Oh god, don't do this to me. I couldn't tell you.
If you close your eyes and had to touch that part of your body, when you think about expression and the lack of it, where is it?
I'd have to say my chest,
Okay.
like the heart region. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you paint, is that part of your body lighting up? Are you painting from that place? Are you painting from lack?
No.
So this is interesting because the wizard creative is the one who says this would look good here and this would look good there, or would it? Because if I do this, it might blend weird, and 30 minutes later, you still haven't dripped the goddamn paint.
That's my
Right.
process.
Yeah.
My process is, let me watch some video tutorials first, then I'll decide which color palette I like and what I want to create, and then I start, and then it doesn't turn out the way I want it to, and then I start enjoying it when I include my fingers, when I start, actually dabbling into it, and that's when I start going, ooh, this is actually looking pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with this. So,
There's a feeling word.
yeah.
I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do enjoy myself. I do enjoy myself. It's just, I was just talking, I told you that earlier. My last painting that I did, or pour painting, it was like pulling teeth because I had this idea in my head. I talked to my mom earlier and she goes, I would like something with, like reddish, copper, maybe orange and green tones. And when you put those together, you get brown. So I was overthinking going into it. And then, of course, the end result was too brown. It wasn't what I was expecting. So, yeah, that was my wizard brain.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the key, and this is what I want. I want to make sure that you get, and I know you understand this because A, you're smart, B, you helped write the book. Like we wrote this thing together with this understanding that this is how the wizard creates. I watched some tutorials, I read some books, I did all this stuff, and then I sat down and analyzed the painting for different hours and looked in my crystal ball and said, if I mix all these colors, it will become brown. Where a bard would utilize the feeling of lack as their sole motivation. Here's the thing. When you share your artwork with me, when you send me pictures of the artwork, the first thing that I experience when I was looking at them is these are full. These are busy. These are complex and creative and complete. None of them represent lack, which means your feeling of lack is being dealt with through how you're painting. Now, how you get to this is me painting from lack as a motivation, the feeling of something is lacking, something is missing, and I feel it right here. Now paint. And can you just paint from the feeling? Can you take the feeling and throw it on the canvas And will it say lack, or will it say the absence of lack, which is fullness, which is happy? Or do you need to watch a tutorial, figure out which colors you're going to use, get those paints out, frame them, and then paint and accomplish the same goal? Because my experience when I looked at them was a feeling of fullness. It's like, these are beautiful. They're complex. This looks like, a bouquet of flowers that has been smeared over a liquid canvas, and it's spectacular.
I get
So
what you're
how
saying.
you achieve the end result of creativity through complicated problem solving or from an emotional experience that you are trying to overcome, is that even really relevant to you when you create art? What's your goal of your artistic process?
I get what you're saying. And actually, when I think about it now, when I watch all of the videos and stuff like that, I get excited. I get excited about the abundance of not only colors, but the techniques that you can use and combine, and there's no limits. So I actually get excited, and then there's a point where I go, oh crap, now I have too many techniques in my head. There's too many colors in my collection, too many things to choose from, and then I start overthinking. So maybe I could try and while I'm excited, just start painting and see how my experience of it differs from when I go into it through my head.
In acting school, right? Which is just, it's art. It's a creative art form. Remember that in theater and in movies and in acting in general, in stage performances, sometimes you're presented with a script. And if that script, if you're going the Broadway, if you're going stage play, you don't get to change words. Improv is not an option, right? That's something that can get you fired. When you're on a movie set, if you are a talented performer who has an agreement with the director, the writer, and the producer, you may be afforded some improv time.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different levels of rules to which you can perform as an actor your art. And so we were taught that the artistic expression of an actor doesn't come from the words you are provided. Not all the time. It can, especially if you're doing Shakespeare. But this is why we would do all those weird exercises where you were only allowed, this is your wife and she's dying of cancer, and you guys are going to have an emotional, heart-ripping scene, but you are only both allowed to say the word bubblegum and action. And so you had to let go of the word and create the emotional experience. And we would sit there and watch fellow students performing and creating this emotional, disturbing scene using a goofy word like bubblegum. And sometimes you'd just be like, oh my God, shoot me. And other times you'd be like sobbing because you were feeling the actors come through. If I was to give you an assignment about creating one of your paintings from a purely bardic artistic place, is to, I would say, have that feeling of lack in your chest. Put your paints in front of you, have the canvas in front of you, and put a blindfold on. And then spin your palette so you don't know which paints are in front of you, and paint. And paint until that feeling goes away. Or paint until that feeling is so bad you can't take it and you rip the blindfold off and see what you painted instinctively. And then analyze it, then go wizard on it, reverse the process, because you were saying you go wizard and pretty soon you're and you're fully in bard mode. Start there, and then when you're done, go wizard mode. Just to see your bardic artistic instincts without watching YouTube videos, reading 3 books, deciding upon the color palette, and then painting.
Yeah.
Just to see, waste the moment, because lack and fullness will emerge. And that's the bard's version of creating the exact, and this is what I want people to understand. This is not a bard wizard comparison study. Both create beauty. And whether you have a prodigy musician who cannot speak because they're on the autistic spectrum, but the first time they communicate is through a symphony that they wrote on a piano and no one's ever taught them to play. And that ultra brilliant mind is expressing through a mathematical process. Or you have a prodigy who is so moved by the music that they practice the art form over and over until they could express pure emotion. Are they the best piano player? No, but can they communicate even with the wrong notes? Yeah. Beauty is created in both places.
Yeah.
That's what I love about, and you really brought this out in the book, because when I came to the book process, I was like, the bards are the artists and the wizards are the thinkers, but wizards are very good at art too. And you really pressed this process into its new form of, what does that mean to think your way into art? Yeah. That's not consumerism. That's being a critic first. And that's brilliant. We need more critics in the world. So now go ahead.
We actually address that in the book as well, comparing the artistic expression of the wizard and the bard, and how they at one point, go from being a wizard into the bard, or the other way around, from being a bard going into the technique. So yeah.
So now what's next for your art?
I guess feeling first. No more YouTube videos.
I guess feeling. Yeah.
I know. See, again, I know because I'm a wizard.
But you're consciously doing it. And that's the key. And people are going to get sick of hearing that in the videos perhaps, but how could it not be the cornerstone, the key, the capstone, the ultimate truth of what this work is about? If you're not going to do it, look, accidentally, and we've talked about this, you can't be successful accidentally. That is very, very true. Creative? Yeah. Expressive? Most definitely. Experience the world accidentally? Yeah. In that gesture space of experiencing and experiential living, you can accidentally find yourself in a place where your whole life changes trajectory in a moment. I remember I had a director one time, I was in the play The Lady from Dubuque. And for those who know the play, it's an intensely emotional play. I was playing the lead male. I could not get the tears to come. And my director became downright abusive and rode me. And class after class, the rest of the students were sitting there playing Tetris on their phones, on their game devices, or reading a book, or talking with each other outside, and he would keep me up on stage. I couldn't sleep at night. I was fatigued until a week into this process, I had a full-on mental and emotional breakdown. And I'm pounding the stage with my fist. Why won't you fucking leave me alone? Ah! And he walked up on stage, and I'm sure everybody understands. He was like, this. Now you've experienced what this man feels like losing his wife. Now you know to the emotional state that you must employ on stage. And I was like, oh, you bastard.
But also thank you, right?
Well, yeah, because once the curtain actually went up, I nailed the performance, but he never let me know it. He never praised me, not once, until the play was over. I would sob and cry and everything, and then backstage he would go, almost. He had to direct me like a wizard. He had to find that place to push me and be very calculated to get my bard to finally show up and say, now you've experienced it. Now tap it again. this wizard bard journey back and forth. It's where great art comes from. I'm in no way should you pick one over the other. And you're
Yeah.
not. You're just exploring the both, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch. Your art is astoundingly good, in my opinion.
Thank you.
But what the hell do I know, right? I'm just a bard out there going, "It's beautiful, Martina." Like, because some wizard's going to come along and be like, "All those colors mixed together are brown."
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to
I've
be
had
like,
that too. I've experienced that too. Not just from myself.
"Oh,
But you know what? I am loving the process. I'm actually loving being a beginner, I have no idea what's gonna happen. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
well, and good on your warrior side for just painting, just
Yeah.
actually doing it, not saying I need to watch another video." That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You have to post some of your art in this video now for the whole world to see.
How can I?
Yeah.
How do
See,
I?
that's your wizard side showing up right now, right? The warrior and the bard are like, "Oh, of course, I'm going to totally." You have to now. People are going to
How
want to
do
see
I
it.
do that? Like,
Pick up
I
one of your
will.
paintings right now and hold it up to the camera.
Gotta reach it first. This one is within reach.
Lift it up more. More. Wow. Within beach?
I call it the forest fairies. See, there are the
I-
fairies.
Yeah.
These are the fairies, and then this. Wait, I got it. Here is like a stream. So yeah, I know it looks like a wave. It's very blue. But it's also green. I don't know. This camera is not picking up the green. But
Yeah,
it's
I
also
can see
green.
it.
So yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. Early stages, but I'm happy. Ish.